everybody. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be working on my Jeep back here. We're going to be putting some trailer wiring in so that we can go on our first trip and about a week or so from now. Should be pretty straightforward. It's a kit from Quadratec and it looks really simple, so I'll take you along for the installation video. Here we go. This is the kit that I got. Like I said, it's from Quadratec. Actually, it was cheaper on Amazon from another seller, which I believe that seller is actually their Amazon affiliate. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is it. It's just a harness, some zip ties, a ground nut, and some adhesive strip. But that's about it. It's nothing super fancy, just what it needs to get the job done. Okay, starting off in the rear fender wells, there's a little panel that we need to take off, which is, I'll get my little pointer here, is right here. There's 6 screws here. There's 1, 2, there's another one up top, a couple more on the bottom. So that's got to be taken off first, and we're going to do that on both sides. All right, so after looking at this, it's 6 bolts, but it actually looks like it's only 3 on each side. So get these taken off of here. Should give us access to the bottom side of the tail light, I think. All right, take down this panel. Oh yeah, it kind of gives you a little access here. Let's see if I can get you squeezed up in there so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. Hopefully I'm getting you on camera. I got you in a spot where I can't really see. All right, same thing on the other side. Okay, so next we need to go to the inside of the Jeep, and just behind the tail light on the inside, there's this little access panel right here. So we've got to pop that off first to gain access to the bolts to remove the tail light. Make sure you use if you don't have one of these, if you're going to be working on cars and things, that's the best tool around. It's plastic. It doesn't damage your plastic is easy. Okay, so using your number 40 star bit. Oh, don't need the extension. Get here, take this bolt off. Be very careful. It's a nylon bolt. This is what it looks like. Just a little star bolt. It has a hex head on it too, if you don't have star. But, all right, take a look from the outside and take the tail light out. All right, so this should essentially just pop out. Oh, easy enough. Just like that. Then on the back side here, there's this little red clip that we have to pull, which should release the tail light here. bit here. Oh, okay. So what you gotta do, you gotta pull this little tab, pull it backwards, and there's a little bitty black tab there. You have to press that down in order for this to release. And then we're just left with this little pigtail here. Okay, then we'll flip over here to the passenger side, do the same thing. Take your little removal tool, a screwdriver, or whatever you got, stick it on this little tab here, pop it up, get your ratchet. So one thing you want to be careful of is when you're removing this, if you're on an incline, I'm currently on an incline, but my front of my Jeep is facing down. You want to make sure that if you're pulled in your driveway forward and the back of your Jeep is downhill, that after you get this out, it doesn't fall out of the socket. So you may want to put yourself a hand on the back side just to hold it, make sure it doesn't go anywhere. All right, got that out. Do the same thing. We'll remove the pigtail from that tail light, just like we did on the first one. So one thing I forgot to mention is when you're undoing these pigtails, make sure that when you're pulling them apart, you're pulling on the actual plastic connectors and not the wiring harness. You go pulling on that pigtail wiring harness and you pull them out of their little sockets, you got a whole nother animal that you're gonna have to battle. More than likely you have to buy the new little clips to put in there, which is a pain in the butt, so it's better to be on the cautious side when you're taking it apart versus having to fix your mistakes afterwards. Okay, so when we go to put this in, the driver's side, this box goes on that driver's side. It also has, it's the pigtail that has the yellow wire, but I mean, if you remember, it's the side with the box, driver's side, and then yellow wire, driver's side, and we'll get to the other side, it's got a green wire. Anyway, so let's fish this through the back panel and up to the taillight housing and get it hooked up. Okay, so the spot where we want to get to run this wire through, sorry for the glare here, is we're gonna go right through that hole. So here's your shock tower. We're gonna go right through that hole. That goes right into our taillight housing area. Okay, so I think what easiest gonna be is fish that box up first. That way it can sit up there and we can pull it from there. All right, we'll let it hang. We'll get back up on top and we'll get that part hooked up. All right, hopefully the audio is okay. The wind has picked up here in the past 5 minutes or so. Okay, so what we do is we're gonna pull this up through here to get to your pigtail here. Basically one end's gonna plug back into the factory harness, and then the other end plugs back into the tail light. Plug this in like that, make sure it clicks. Push that back closed. And then on the inside, there's a hole where this snaps into. It's in a bad spot, but you can't miss it. It's down near, down where we took that panel off underneath. Maybe once we get back under there, I can show you where it clips at. But we'll feed that back down in there. Feel around for the hole. And snap it into place. Okay, then what we're left with here, if you hear that rattle in the back, that's the wind blowing my tin on my roof. So we have this wire here, this white wire. This is actually your ground, and there are, get you off the camera. tripod here. If you look there, those two studs, I can't get my hand down in there, but that's going to slip on there, and they actually supply you with another nut to tighten that up. Let's see. You can kind of see down there where I snapped that wire into that little hole, but basically that's where you want to be. All right, here's your little nut. It's a 10mm socket, so we'll put that ground wire on there, snug it up. You know, obviously if it's rusty, you want to make sure you grind it down and or not grind it, but clean it off with a wire brush or something just to get the rust off of it. But mine is still pretty good. I think it should ground fine, especially since the nut is bare. You just go in there and tighten it up. I wish I could get a better shot in there, but my big hands, big arms, you're not gonna be able to see much. Snug her up. Okay, so before we mount that little box, what we want to do is it's going to go on the bottom of the tail light housing down there. You'll see there's like a little body panel platform. I'm just using brake cleaner just because that's what I have out here. If you don't have that, you can use probably some all-purpose cleaner would be fine. But this is a spot that does hold a lot of dirt, so you may have to clean it a couple times to get it clean. Oh yeah. All right, we'll get you down there so you can see what I'm talking about. So basically down there is what I'm talking about. So I'll get the tape and we'll stick it on there and put it in place. Okay, so now we're underneath the Jeep and it's time to run the wires around to the passenger side. So basically your wires here, these are what's dropped down from your little the tail light housing up there. And so what we're going to do is you got a couple different strands here. You got the one that has the actual trailer light pigtail, and then the pigtails for that actually go inside the other tail light. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the top of this here. Just take your time, don't tug on it. If it gets hung up, try to figure out where it's hung up at. Also make sure you're wearing safety glasses. Get all that stuff through there. There's a lot of places for it to get hung up, so take your time. Okay. So once you get that, there are little holes that your little your Christmas tree barbs here that they slip into. It's gonna be hard for me to get you into a spot. Whoop, down you go. Let's see if I can get in here and get these things zipped into place. And once you get this far, you can let's see, go around this here. Get move back a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So then what you can do from this point is go ahead and lock your little trailer deal in place. Maybe easier said than done. Well, she needs a little more slack there. All right, get that in place. And so my Jeep, my hitch here, I don't have the holes for these other little Christmas tree deals unless they're on top. Can't feel anything. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put some kind of a fastener to hold that up so it's not touching the exhaust. And we'll go over here. Okay, so basically what I did is I added the zip tie right there to hold on to that. This way, put another zip tie here, and another zip tie here, and routed it up to the tail light. There's another one of those little Christmas tree clips right there, plugged into there, and then ran it up the frame. So we'll go upstairs or up top, and we'll plug in the tail light, put it back in place. Okay, so we have this power wire. Basically what we have to do is we've got to run it all the way down the frame, and we're going to secure it to wires, the factory wiring harness all the way down. And we want to keep it away from the exhaust, keep it away from the fuel lines. It's going to be a tough job. It's going to be a tight spot. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get all the pictures of it. But basically, like I said, you just hug that wiring harness, and if it's good enough for the factory wiring harness, I guess they assume it's good enough for this wiring harness. So they give you the zip ties. So after you follow that wiring harness all the way down, you put the zip ties on. Make sure you clip off the little excess pieces so that they don't touch the exhaust and catch on fire or create a smoke show, and then you're driving down the road wondering what stinks, what's burning. Plastic absolutely stinks when it gets on exhaust, so take note to that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. I just with the way the lighting is and the amount of space there is, I'm just not sure if I can get good shots of me putting this in place. If I had a lift, it would probably be a different story. But me crawling around on the ground, scooting down, I just want to kind of get it knocked out and done with. Once I get it down the frame and we get it up to the engine bay, then I'll start the video up from there. All right, so after climbing around underneath, running the wire from the back of the Jeep all the way along the frame and up through the front, I ran out of daylight, so I had to pick up this morning where I left off. So this is the wire right here. We're coming up, I go over the master cylinder, go behind the radiator reservoir, and I put a zip tie here, and it goes across this, over the intake, and I zip tied it over here. It'll go over on this side. And then I came from this way, come along here, through here, and then there's your fuse, goes here, and then there's a little terminal there, and I fastened it to that little terminal right there. Anyway, wasn't a bad project, just very awkward. Climbing around underneath the Jeep on the ground, but it can be done. Just take your time. Like I said, keep that wire away from the exhaust. All right, all in all, I think this is a project that anybody can do. It takes minimal tools. Probably can knock it out hour and a half, something like that. Just climbing around under the Jeep, fastening the wire to the chassis. That was the most strenuous work, just because you're scooting along on your back, trying to get your hand into places where your hands aren't supposed to be. But other than that, it's done. I've already backed it up to my trailer. All my lights work, so we're good to go. Got a camping trip scheduled for next Saturday. So we got 7 days to get this trailer packed up and ready to go. So stay tuned to see what we load up and we take. Thanks.